Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God, Yahweh Shai being the name of his beloved Son, who the world really calls Jesus. It's the brother Yair Radah out of WFI Indiana camp coming to y'all with quick cold cut through the spirit. It's very, very basic and simple, yet very important, and one of, if not the most important thing that we all need to make sure that we align with, and that we making sure and checking ourselves in, are we living according to this, which is very simply put, right? Your love for the Most High God has to be more than everything in existence. Simply put, you gotta love the Most High God more than anything. The love that you have for the Most High God has to go further than the love that you have for your parents, right? The love that you have for the Most High God has to go further than the love that you may have for your brother or your sister. The love that you have for the Most High God has to go further than that of a spouse. The love that you have for the Most High God has to go further than that of your children, if you have them. Point is, like I said, like it was stated at the beginning, the love that you have for the Most High has to exceed everything in existence. It should be the Most High God, and then everything else falls up under that. It has to be that way. There is no other way. It can't be no other way. And you know that based off of how you live your life. Priorities. What do you do? So on and so forth. You understand? We just gonna get a couple scriptures. All right, this ain't gonna be too long, but we're gonna get a couple classics. All right. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous." So loving the Most High God is you keeping the commandments. Loving the Most High God is you walking in the ways of the Lord. Loving the Most High God is having the fear of the Lord. You understand? Walking in righteousness, so on and so forth. So that's how you show the Most High God that you love him. Like we always say over and over again on the highways and byways, like love is an action word. You can't just speak love, 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 but your actions show different. Love is action. You have to show the Lord that you love him. You understand? To the best of your ability, right? Let's go to let's get another quick one real quick. In the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 21. It says, verse 21, it says, "He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and I will manifest myself to him." Right? So it all comes back to walking in the ways of the Lord, which is what? Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22, and get right to the point. In verse 36, it says, "Master, which is the great commandment in the law?" Yahweh Shai said unto them, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind." And this is the point of the video. You have to love the Lord with everything that you have within you. You got to love the Most High God more than any and everything. And you show that through your approach to this truth. You show that through the approach and how you approach when you read. How do you approach when you fast? How do you approach in loving your people? Right? Because you love the Most High God, guess what? By default, you're going to love your people. You're going to love your people. You're going to love your brother, your sister. You're going to honor thy mother and thy father. You're going to take care of your family, so on and so forth. Right? But it said what? It said with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. All right, meaning what you gotta that gotta be. He has to be your rock. He gotta be your everything. You gotta be obsessed with loving the Lord. You gotta be obsessed with it. And in this walk that we in, it's imperative that we show the Most High God that love. You understand? Because guess what? We gonna want and need that same love now, but also when all hell break loose and Jacob's trouble come, man. We gonna want that love. We gonna want that love shown, you understand, back to us during that time. Even though the Lord done showed us enough love as it is, to where he don't have to do nothing else, and we still don't deserve the amount of love that he's shown to us as a people and on an individual level. Because why? The amount of things that we've already done or accrued in this life that we in, or maybe even our past lives, we were supposed to have been dead. But the Lord had mercy and grace upon us. Right? So you got to make sure that you sincerely loving the Most High God. You sincerely giving the Most High God your all. You sincerely, you understand, not putting anything else before the Lord. You got to, like I said, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. You understand, so on and so forth. That's loving the Lord. Keeping the Lord first in all things, right? And what did Yahushua quote, right? When Yahushua said that, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy, chapter 6. And I'll start at verse 4. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4. It says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might." Right? And that's the approach that we always have to have every single day when you wake up in the morning. Right? You don't want to be like certain men was, in the scriptures. Right? Let's get just an example real quick. Let's go to the book of 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles chapter 23, and I'll start at actually y'all want 24, so like y'all want 24. Right, this is the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 24 and verse 1. It says, "Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Ziba of Beersheba." Right? Watch this. It says, "And Joash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Joada the priest." Now, mind you, in this it said he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Joada the priest. Meaning what? Meaning while he had somebody over him, instructing him, guiding him, being there, and to make sure, he stay on that, that righteous path. Guess what? Hey, those are the times in which he did those things which was right in the sight of the Most High God. But then when you continue to read this chapter, when the priest Joada died, hey, Joash started going off. He started going off. Why? Because, well, one, Joada the priest was gone, so he didn't have anybody to keep him in line or to instruct him in righteousness or so on and so forth. Not that he didn't have anybody, because I'm sure he could have had somebody that was telling him, hey, X, Y, Z. But what's the point? The point is, Joash didn't truly love the Lord. He didn't truly love the Most High God with all his heart and with all his soul and with all his might. Because if he did, it wouldn't have mattered who was instructing him. It wouldn't have mattered if somebody was there or not. Why? Because the love that he had for the Most High God, it don't matter who's there. It don't matter who's around. It doesn't matter who's instructing you. It don't matter. You doing what you're supposed to be doing because you love the Lord that much. But when Joada died, hey, he began to go off. All hell started breaking loose. When you continue to read the rest of this chapter, all hell broke loose. Right? So, with that being said, you want to make sure that you don't fall into this snare of because you in this truth because of the love that you have for somebody else. No, you need to be in this thing and stay, or when I say be in this thing, I mean stay in this truth because you love the Lord. Because you love the Most High God, man. Not because, oh, this person, this, or, oh, yeah, no, you got to be in this thing because you love the Most High God that much. You got to want to read because of how much you love the Lord. You got to want to fast because of how much you love the Lord. You got to want to continue to endure and persevere through the trials, the tribulations, the turmoils, the spirits that come up against you. All these different things because of how much you love the Most High God, man. Because guess what? What if that's predicated off of you being around this person or that person? Guess what? What if the Lord had that person fall out the truth? Or what if the Lord, call that person home? Or what if that person just not there no more? Then what? You're going to end up like Joash. Because you're relying off of somebody. No. You want to put all your trust in the Most High God and follow him and love him and have that love exceed everything else. First and foremost, it's a commandment to love the Most High God. Right? More than anything else. All right, he said, have no other gods before me in Exodus chapter 20. All right, so with all that being said, make sure that you loving the Most High God more than anything upon the face of this earth, more than anything outside this earth, under the earth, anywhere. Hey, you got to love the Most High God, man. You understand? And everything else will fall in line according to your however your life is set up. You understand? If you got children, if you got a wife or a husband, or if you got this or that, whatever the case may be, you understand. But make sure you're not putting, let me get this last thing real quick in the book of Matthew, because even Yahushua told you this, man. Yahushua spoke about this very thing. All right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse, let me get right to the point, verse 37. It says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that take it, right? So he says straight up, hey, if you love your father or your mother more than me, you're not worthy. If you love your children more than me, hey, you're not worthy. And then he said in 38, he says, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. So, hey, even on the other side, if you don't want to go through these things that the lot was given unto Israel to go into to deal with and to go through, then guess what? You ain't worthy of me either. You're not worthy of the Lord, man. But we don't want to be that way, right? We want to show, that we worthy by making sure that we loving the Most High God with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our might, not putting anything else before the Lord. All right, so Lord willing, brothers and sisters, edify. Lord willing, brothers and sisters, make sure that they align in their lives, according to loving the Most High, man. All right. Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right. So with that, all honor and praise go to the Most High God Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Kwam Yashala Shalom.